But my goodness, Art Stricklin, the Art of Golf, joins us, Baylor alum as well, from LA North Country Club. What on earth did we see today with both Schauffele and Ricky Fowler?
Well, I think we saw the Quad Cities Classic today. I mean, I think it's just a birdie fest. And, I got to be honest with you, Smokey. When I heard the fairways were going to be 40 yards wide, which is twice the size they usually are the U.S. Open, I thought there could be trouble. And then they said, well, rough stuff and, you can't miss fairway, blah, blah, blah. But let's just face it, these guys are tearing it win from win. We've already had our second hole-in-one today. Sam Burns just made a hole-in-one. And I counted it up in the media center, and it may have changed since the last time I did it. There were 69 players, 69 at even or under par currently. And, it's just certainly not a U.S. Open. And, I did a long interview with Fred Paul from Dallas, the new USGA president, and he would never come out and say this. He just said, we don't dictate score. We want a tournament. They have to use all 14 clubs, get them dirty. But USGA can't be happy with this. They just can't. This is not their identity. And the players now have to adjust, don't you think, Smokey?
Oh, yeah.
If you came in thinking bogey is okay and par is your friend, you got to throw that out the window right now.
Yeah, it's the U.S. Open does. You hear that word, they trick it up. The rough is massive where you could almost not even see your ankles, and it rewards, people hitting the fairway. By the way, I mentioned Mickelson, he's 2 under through 7. He's off to another nice start, played the Masters great. Art, what will they do now? Will they, the course is what it is. Will they trick it up tomorrow? Will they? It's overcast. I don't know if it's gotten sunny or not. That means it's not. It's still going to be somewhat moist.
The sun's come out a little bit here, but still very little wind, David. Very little wind here. They can't do a whole lot. But they're not bringing the fairways in 20 yards overnight.
No.
That can't happen. I think obviously they can speed the greens up. Double cut them tonight. Put the pins in some different positions, but you got to look at this, David. Winning score is going to be 15, maybe 17 under par, and that's shocking for a U.S. Open. So players are going to have to adjust. Great players always adjust. They see the conditions and they adjust their game to the conditions. Well, the conditions here are birdie fest all the way, which is certainly not what you expect from a U.S. Open, but as people have said, they haven't been to LA in 75 years. They've never been to LA North. So really didn't have a reading on what the pros would do here. And now I think they have a pretty good reading what the pros will do here. Marion showed in 2013 when Justin Rose won with a 3 over par score. Tight fairways, small greens are really the only way to combat these. They're the best players in the world. And that's exactly what they're showing today, Smokey.
Yeah, they are. And what I normally at a U.S. Open, like there are in some other tournaments, someone unknown will vault up and surprise. Solomon had a good round today. Obviously, there's a few others. But this is littered with big names. This is not like the cream will rise to the top at the end of the second round into the weekend. They're already up there.
Yeah, and again, Xander Schauffele even said when he came in the media center in the interview room, he said, "Why can't we do this again tomorrow?" And I think that's kind of what they're thinking. I think that's their mindset. And so, USGA has got to be concerned because every major, David, this has an identity. The Masters' identity is we play the same place every year. We got history coming out our ears. PGA is. We've got great shot makers and fun courses. British Open is we got weather. You're going to have to overcome the weather. U.S. Open is this is going to be a grind out, par fest. And certainly that was not the case for day one. And to be honest with you, I don't see that as the case for days 2, 3, or 4 either.
I saw where Koepka, I couldn't find him. He's 2 over through 4. He's on number 5, so it's kind of a rugged start. We bogeyed the par 5 number 1. So I saw shots. I played earlier today, and I was in the area where we gathered to look at bets and whatever else. And I saw shots on par 3s where they weren't even trying to hit the green. They were trying to hit to the left of the green to roll onto the green. Am I right there? That some of those,
yeah, no, you're exactly right. And also, David, I don't know if this came across on TV, but they're putting tremendous spin on the ball. And so when you've got a lie in the fairway, and it's hard not to hit the fairways here, but you have a lie in the fairway, you can put a tremendous amount of spin on the ball. So you see a lot of guys aiming for the corners, spinning it toward the hole. And that's what they did. They're really good at that. Bunkers, there's not, they're in the fairway. It's hard to hit a bunker from the fairway. I think the USGA's got to be a little shell-shocked. Yeah, they admit that, but they have to be, just the way it's turned out today. And I don't really know what you do. I mean, for people like to see birdies and low scores, well, hey, this is your week. And one thing, and it's still early to tell this because there's a ton of guys out there, but the cut line could be under par for the U.S. Open. I think you'd have to go a long way back to find the last time the cut for the U.S. Open was under par.
Art, the Ricky Fowler story, we all know how elite he was. I use that word a lot too much, but he was really good, among the best in the world. He then has been through kind of a journey to get back, and you could see he was playing much better recently. Rob Bolton from the PGA Tour.com said yesterday he thought Ricky would play well. The Butch Harmon influence, how much of that influence have we seen today and really in recent weeks as well?
Oh, I think you've seen a lot. Butch is an entertaining guy. He's a great quote, good interview, but he's a heck of a teacher. And the fact that he went with him, but, Ricky, this is how golf loves the comeback story. Look at Brooks Koepka. Really was down in the dumps to watch the Netflix series, never going to win again. He comes back and wins the PGA. Mm-hmm. Ricky Fowler has only played 4 majors in the last 3 years. And I'm going to help your mathematics from SFA. There's been 12 majors in the last 3 years. He's only played in 4 of them. So, that's pretty amazing. Now, obviously, played the Texas Open this year because he was trying to get in the Masters. Didn't play in the Masters this year, but he's now top 50 in the world. Top 50 in the world gets you into all 4 of the majors. So he'll be playing at Hoy Lake and, great for Ricky. Both he and Xander are both Southern California kids. Mm-hmm. Xander went to San Diego State and grew up in the San Diego area. Ricky grew up in Southern California, Murata. And so a lot of fans rooting for him, but I really think Ricky's one of the most popular guys around because even though he has struggled, and everyone knows how hard he has, so he's never lost his friendliness. He still signs 1 million autographs. He's still helpful to the media, will answer any questions. And to not let your score dictate your attitude, I think that's what people really appreciate about Ricky.
Did today with his round, was it his ball striking? Was it his short game? Was it his driver? What obviously everything with what he shot, but was there anything maybe even more crisp or razor sharp than the other parts of his game?
I really think it was putting, David. He made pretty much everything he looked at inside of 15 feet. I mean, obviously, he's a great driver, ball striker, but, man, he made a ton of putts. He made a putts on 8. Even when he hit it, he hit it in the blank on number 8, and kind of underneath the bridge almost. Chipped it out, knocked it on the green, one putted for birdie on 8. And then comes the 9. He hits it on the right side. Easy 2-putt, 3-putt for a 62, which was the all-time record for all of 20 minutes until Evander Schauffele comes back and ties the all-time record.
That's nuts.
62.
Yeah, when I saw the number, what he was getting close to, and on the chat room, they were keeping us up with it as well. And I saw 62 as a possibility. I'm not sure, Art, you and I'm a little bit older than you, or maybe a lot a bit older than you. The first thing I thought about was Johnny Miller, and I think was at Oakmont shooting 63 to win the Open. Was that kind of pop into your head too?
Final round. And I didn't realize, so I started doing research, both Jack Nicklaus and Tom Weiskopf shot 63 the first round at Baltusrol in 1980 when Jack won his next to last Masters. So 63 has been done a bunch. You know, both Nicklaus and Weiskopf did it first round at Baltusrol. Johnny did it last round at Oakmont. But gosh, that's an awful low score. And to go one below that, go at 62. And, you know, I just think that guys will be doing a lot of thinking tonight when they get back to the hotel, assuming they survive the traffic on the 405. But I think they're going to be doing a lot of thinking when they get back that, you know, forget this play for par and two-putt everything. I've got to go pin hunting tomorrow. If I don't, I'm going to be 10 shots out of the lead when the cut's made. And, you know, look at some guys already are that way. I mean, Jordan Spieth's playing right now. I think he's maybe 9 shots out of the lead. You know, Scotty has had a great round. I think he's 5 back. So, well, you better go pin hunt tomorrow, or it's going to be a long weekend if you're trying to catch the leaders.
Art Stricklin, one more question from L.A. North, the first round of the Open with the two guys going at 8 under or 62 with Schauffele and also Ricky Fowler. Is there a number at the end of today that you are probably, because the Open we're used to guys shooting 4 or 5 over par and still getting to the cut, like you mentioned. Is there a number that you're done? Is it 2 or 3 over, or is it where you could turn it around and maybe things change tomorrow?
Well, I mean, the old saying about the Masters, I think it's true anywhere. You can't win the Masters on the first day, but you can lose it on the first day. And, you know, by no means do I think that Ricky and Xander have won the U.S. Open today. But I just think that you better be around. If you're not around even par after today, then, you know, you got your work cut out for you because you're going to have to go low. And, you know, Koepka was in the interview room saying, I don't do well at Birdie Fest. I do well when par's a good score.
Yep.
Well, guess what, folks? That's not the tournament you're facing. So, anyway, I think you need to be around even par. And, again, I did the quick math. 69 players were even par or lower the last time I checked. And, you know, that's nearly half the field. It's pretty remarkable, really.
All right, Art, you have a business. You take people on trips to go see the great courses around the country, whether it's overseas, whether it's in Scotland or anywhere around the country. Give us maybe your next trip or how people can get in touch if they're interested in making a memorable journey and also play some great golf.
Sure. We just got back from Scotland week after last where I did shoot at 88 at the old course. Thank you very much. But we had a great trip to Scotland. Took 8 guys. Really memorable. We're having a fun little 4-day trip to northern Michigan at the end of July. Anybody wants to escape the Waco weather? We're going the 31st of July through the 3rd of August up to northern Michigan, playing 36 a day. Going to be about 70 degrees, 65, and some great courses right on Lake Michigan. Then we're going to go up to see Big Cedar Lodge and Tiger Woods course in September. So we're doing that. Then we've got a couple other private trips. I take guys on some private golf trips, places they can't get on. Took a couple guys down to Seminole in South Florida in May, and we're going to go up to Philadelphia area in July. So glad to have them join us. Everything's on the website, Smokey. www.artofgolftravel.com.
All right, Art. Thank you, buddy, for the insight. Art Stricklin, PGA Tour writer. Kim was talking about on the first hole, they moved the